No.
Make it available
that,
to carry the students of Southern St. Andrew, at least.
No, I just think, by the way, the old car that I drive is 20 odd years old. You hear me, Mr. Golden? Many Jamaicans, our car they drive. Many of the cars in Jamaica are old cars. And they are a 10-year-old car. How many Jamaicans right now can afford a 10-year-old Pro Box? You talk about old buses, Mr. Golden. You know, Mr. Golden, when I went to school, you see, sir, I traveled from Mandeville to Christiana. Many mornings I was late. Many mornings I was late for school because there were no buses. And when the buses came, you had to wait for the adults to get in, and then you stand in the passage. Tight as a sardine can. I can't ever remember driving in a bus that I wasn't never squeezed up. You see, when I put on my shirt and reach a school, my shirt mash up. Sometimes it dirty up because of the condition. And that was under your government. So don't criticize small steps. Yes.
But
Senator, yes. We will get to the place, Mr. Goldie, where we can buy new buses for students. But my God, man, no criticize the try. Yeah? It's a first step. We're not a wealthy country. We're not America. We're Jamaica. And if I should be truthful, Mr. Golden, right? Part of why we cannot maybe buy new buses now was that 18.5 years of PNP mismanagement. Talk truth. Because had the party you support managed the country well in that 18.5 years period, we probably would be in a position now to buy brand new buses. Don't play politics here, man. And that is part of the problem we are having with the People's National Party. You seem to be pessimistic, and your views are not enhancing the development of Jamaica. Don't talk about old buses, Golden. 100 old bus. I don't know old bus. You know, when the man in Jamaica have old truck, old bus, old car. Some of them can't even get a fitness for it. You are Jamaican, you know what me I talk about.
He is just angered by the work the JLP government is doing.
Bringing in 100 old buses.
Listen to it, Daddy.
With some very confused. You know, I see they're bringing in 100 old buses. With some very confused arithmetic as to how many students will be carried.
I make one more comment on this. When I heard that this morning, I asked myself, will comrades take the bus? Comrades, are you going to put your students on the buses? Is this a what is this? Are comrades going to drive on these buses, Mr. Golden? Will you say to the comrades, don't drive on the buses? Or these are Labour Party buses?
Better yet, I'm wondering if Mark Golden will send back the bus if he should gain state power.
What a fantastic development for Jamaica. That for the first time in our history, the government is instituting a school bus system. What a fantastic first step from the government. Last night I called upon the government to remove all auxiliary fees from schools. Do that, Mr. Holness. Lift up the auxiliary fees them from the parents. They will have school buses in September. Lift up auxiliary fees. Give the Jamaican parents a break. And let's see what Mr. Mark Golding will say. Pure old car in Jamaica.
You know that was
me and you can go 18 go buy car. Philip is old van.
Neighbor.
Yep, morning. Good afternoon. Good night. What happened?
Good evening. The auxiliary fees are not mandatory and is not something that is required of the Ministry of Education. But I also want to state that as it relates to Mark Golding about
Philippians?
yes.
What the government removed is cost sharing, right? But then there are auxiliary
tuition fee.
Tuition. There are auxiliary fees that the schools charge. And some of them are huge, you know. What they say is that
it's not
the parents,
the government, it's not the schools institute that.
Yeah, but the schools aren't independent, they're government schools. And what I'm saying,
they're run by the board.
They're government schools. And my argument is that come September, no parent in Jamaica must be forced or asked to pay any auxiliary fee. They must.
And the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Education said that
hold on, man. Their parents must find their uniform, their bags, their books, their lunch monies, which sometimes are $2,000, $1,500 a day. For this year, I am asking the government, neighbor is asking the government that for this year, to ease the pressure on parents, lift up auxiliary fees from schools.
Yes. You have asked that from last night. We hear you clear, and I agree with you. I think you should give Philippians her 3 minutes to explain what she's explaining, because it is very interesting what she will have to say.
Yeah, I was talking about the issue of the old bus comment, right? And when we look at, you mentioned FinSAC, and people don't look at the broader impact of FinSAC and what it had on other sector, like our education sector. Because if you're going to have a financial crisis, it's going to spill over into every other sector, right? So healthcare. So if banks are crashing in the country, business are crashing, they're closing, people are losing their houses and jobs, there is going to be implication, negative impact on the health sector, the education sector, and that all was caused by the PMP, and of course Master Mark was a part of that.
No, Mark.
So when he's going to talk about us now having all buses, he's the reason, right? He's the reason why we are at this stage, because back in the day, it was 2 persons who were having babies on one bed in the hospitals because the hospital was so run down. We never have anything. So people don't look at the broader picture of how FinSAC impacted our education system, our health system, national security. Our crime was so high back in the 90s early 2000. It was all due to the financial crisis. Look at the good news we got today. Our economy grew by 1.1% in the
You
first
know, I see
quarter
they're
of this
bringing in
year.
100 old buses.
And I have a question, neighbor. When have we brought in new buses?
Well, the JUTC buses are brand new. Right? The JUTC buses are brand new buses. But I listen to me. I don't know, old buses them are carry come to Jamaica, you know, Mr. Golden. These are not old buses, you know. These are not because you know these buses coming out of what? America, they're coming from Philippines.
Yes, they
America don't have
they're
bad
the one,
roads like
those buses carry American students every day.
And
yes.
Philippians.
Yes.
What I wanted you to explain was the auxiliary fee. I thought that was what we were on. It's very interesting for people to understand, especially neighbor, how the auxiliary fee come about, how it was hiked up, and things like that.
You know, sir, there was one time, Mr. Casey, when I registered 60 boys for school, I know about auxiliary fees, okay? I do. 60. Well, maybe a little less than 60,
Right. Well,
but I know about auxiliary fees, and I know the pressure.
Neighbor, up to 2007, when Bruce Golding abolished tuition in school, which were known as school fees, the auxiliary fee at that point was merely about 10% of school expenses.
Cost sharing.
It started to go up after the tuition fee was abolished. Various people complained about it, and it was communicated to us that the school board, the school administration, and the principal decide the auxiliary fee based on what they think the amount they think they need to make up the school budget for the year, because they are essentially running the schools.
With some
Over time, government
arithmetic as to how many students.
Yeah, go ahead.
Over time, government have been offering more to the school, giving the schools more and more because of good management of the economy. So I think it's high time the government go over the head of these boards and say abolish the auxiliary fee. But
Thank you.
It wasn't an easy decision before. But
Because
I think now we're in a
money.
better economic now.
Because of the state
Yes.
of the economy.
Yes, and I want to point out this may rub some people wrong, but I want to point out that school administrations over the past have hiked up the auxiliary fee for their own benefit, because a lot of time the school don't necessarily need all that money to run the school for the financial year.
Well,
But now that principals and administrators are getting more, I think government can play a greater role or dictate the auxiliary fees, if there is any, and how the schools are run. Because you know that a lot of these schools administration don't abide by the government laws.
I know, sir. And the principal them run the
Yes.
school as Philippians said.
I think
Anyway,
that's the point Philippians was
No,
trying to
the
do.
school board, neighbor.
yeah.
Yeah, principal on board. All of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So listeners, we're here chatting about a couple of things, including the wholeness factor. We were a little bit distracted by this comment that Mr. Golden is making, that the government is bringing in old buses. And we are saying it's a start. If you are better than where you were, it's a start. Okay? And I am happy for the children. You know, I spoke to Classic about this. Yes, Classic. I spoke to you about that. That a school bus system is not only 6 wheels, it's not only a unit on 6 wheels, you know. Think about how you can transform a society through a school bus system. Think about it. Because you think it's only the buses. But think about the social values that you can begin to introduce in a society when the society separates its adults from its young children. Think about the students sitting in a bus, traveling to school, and are listening things about Jamaica. They may be watching a video about our history, our heritage. Yes? The music that they will listen. Think about what you can do for your students, for your country, with a separate transportation system for your young children. And on the other hand, think about the damage that is done to our children when you put them in buses with adults who are cursing, you know, the type of music on some of these buses. Yes, the behavior of the adults. You are separating your children from that. It's not about the buses only. It's about transforming a society. It's about how you are setting about inculcating into the generation coming up the norms, the habits, the values that you want as a society. So don't criticize it, Mr. Gold. Don't criticize it. Tell us what is your policy for this. That's what you need to do. Because you never go on to say that. You can't just tear down everything, man. Crime falls, uno say no crime no fall. Unemployment gone down, uno say no unemployment no gone down. Poverty is reduced. Uno say go and so it go.
And in another of his previous comment, this is typical of Mr. Golden, you know. He said that this puppy show government is walking around, breaking ground and cutting ribbon and giving away things to the citizens. And I quote him by...
Yes? So what you have to offer, sir, is alternatives. Show us what you would do. What is the PNP's policy for school children? What it is? Tell us, no?
And we shouldn't be surprised, you know, neighbor. The PNP's own Damian Crawford, I hope he's listening. Damian Crawford, I will quote him saying, PNP have bad eye. When good things happen, they cover the good eye and look out at the bad one. And if a road were to be built, they don't commend you and say nice road. They look through the bad eye and say, oh, we weren't in charge of this road.
Yeah. And then
so they look at the bad side of everything.
And a dance and I'm feeling a little bit irritated tonight, you know. I am. I must tell you. I'm disappointed in the posture of the opposition. I am disappointed. I am.
I have a point to make to you as far as it has something to do with forecasting the election. And I want to make an example for the people. Not to let the PNP campaign style have a psychological effect on you Because look at Miranda Wellington down in Southwest, St. Elizabeth. When I first started to forecast here, and you bring up that seat, and you said the Glean and TVJ have it as a battleground seat, I told you that in order to give the impression that the election is close, they would have to put the weather vane seat in the battleground column.
Yeah.
But it is not so. And after that, a poll came out that have Fly Green leading by 5 points. That's when JLP was doing little to no activity. When the activity eat up a bit, Fly Green was leading by 23 points.
Yeah.
So Miranda is way underwater. And it's no lead like what Omar Woodbine have against Bobby Montague, because Fly Green ratings is 55 points. It's not 39. And if you look at Miranda on stage and the picture she's trying to paint, you would look at it and say, but Southwest St. Elizabeth is close. So the PNP have a L.A. Lewis type of campaigning, where you will see graffitis and flags everywhere to give you the impression that they are in the race, but they are really not in this race.
Okay.
That's a good one, Casey, and you're so correct.
Yeah. You can use Miranda Wellington as an example. She will lose worse than every other candidate Fly Green have beaten. And if you follow the PNP, you will get the impression that Miranda Wellington has Fly Green under pressure. I can tell you the constituencies Fly Green is working in now, and it's not Southwest St. Elizabeth.
He's not even campaigning in his own constituency. He's not.
Just
he's
like
not safe.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right, listeners. It's 8 o'clock, and we can go a little bit longer. Do you want to come up? Do you want to come up? Tari's here. By the way, Tari's here. We had asked Tari to come on for a review, but I chatted all the time. Do you want to come up? Is there anyone online? Yeah, we can give you a little time. Let's start with Rig. Is that on? Is off? Okay. Let's see who else want to talk with us. Okay. 3 minutes each person. 3 minutes. Go ahead, sir. Mr. Trigger?
Yeah,
Mr.
no,
Trigger?
hold on 1 minute. Yeah, look here. I told you to call me from the other day, sir. Why you don't call me, sir?
Boy, I tell you something. I'm actually, you're gonna have to send me back your number. My phone has been damaged. I'm using a new phone that I borrowed.
Okay.
And no one number is in it. So please send me your number.
All right,
Okay?
all right. Me hit you up, Batman. Go on, do your good work. But you realize you have some people getting in your head the other day. Keep my calm nerves, my friend. When you do good, people not stone after Fluxy Mango, are the good ones. So keep a cool head. Keep a cool head. Casey, Philippi, and Tari, big up. Me gone, still on this lane.
Big up yourself, Chico.
All right.
Labor Right Rig. Let's see who else we have here in the box. Mr. Green. Sir Green coming up for 3 minutes. Mr. Green? Hello, sir? Hello? Hello, sir? Mr. Green? No, you're not serious about this, Mr. Green. You are not serious about this. Let's go with Barry Barrett. Barry Barrett. Barry? Barry? Good night, Barry. Boy, I tell you something. These people are sending requests, but they don't know. They don't want to talk. What's happening, sir? Barry? Okay, let's disconnect
Neighbor,
that.
sometimes they accidentally click the request box.
Well, and they don't even know that they're up here. Look at that. Take him down for me. Take down Barry. Jamaica belong to Jamaica. Let's see what that person says. 3 minutes, everyone.
That's Munsa Man. That's Mansa Musa or whatever his name is. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
give me
Mansa Musa.
Yeah, during the forecasting, I want to know if the forecaster took into consideration that a third term is very difficult to achieve. And it's only happened once in Jamaica 63 years.
Yes, sir. May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Mr.
Yeah, you can.
That's your question. I did take it into consideration. And when I look at the fact that there was a financial meltdown and FinSac prior to the election in 1997, and PNP still got the third term, I don't see why JLP wouldn't get it easier after this performance. The greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich happened before PNP got the third term. And a member of parliament in that term owned the bank that has benefited greatly. A government member of parliament, and they still got the third term. So I think that this JLP government, based on what they have done, is in pole position to get the third term if we should take third term fatigue into consideration based on the history of Jamaican politics. JLP
Have a good night,
chances,
Munsa Mansa. Bye.
based on what PNP chances should have been in 1997, it's incomparable.
Philip, I'm a chief.
Let's
Yeah,
see
good
what-
night, Prime.
No.
Prime Global.
Good night, Prime.
No, I don't want to go in the box, please. Go.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Who else we have here?
Lord Reaper is here. Oh, next. Lord Reaper.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Oh,
good night,
Lardo. Lardo.
Lord Reaper. Lord
Good
Reaper.
night, Lardo.
Good night. You can hear me clearly?
Oh, Lord
good.
Reaper. Okay.
Alright,
Welcome.
so, I heard
Yeah, go ahead.
I heard neighbor saying that he is disappointed in Mr. What is his name? Golden for his statement he made about the 100 old boss. But you know, I'm not disappointed in him. What I'm disappointed in is the supporters that he have. Some poor, some middle class, not the rich, but the poor and middle class. Making a statement like that, and you know that you will benefit mostly the poor and the middle class from these school buses, and you're cheering the comments on. How blindly can you follow a party? No one in the crowd said, "No man, Mark, we're gonna use the bus for a while, man, till we upgrade it." They not the plan for upgrade, you know. Them just want.
Well, let me ask you a question, sir. These very people, the taxes that they take, their children take home, are they new taxes?
No,
Boss man, let me tell you something. You see, I take a taxi the other day. You see, well, it ain't too bad still, but it was not in very good condition. I can tell you that. And you see, when you want to get home in the evenings, you barely business how the taxi want to look. You just want to get home.
That is true. So
Eh?
you know the funny thing about it is they're wishing for this thing to fail. Like the bus is
No, but the people who are in the crowd, are their children taking new buses go home?
no,
Huh?
no, they're not.
Come on, brother. Some of these coaster buses that I see running, when rain start fall, them are jumping up.
Exactly.
There are good buses out there too, but some of them are in
Right.
very poor condition.
But neighbor, To be honest, the oldest bus in the country is the PNP, and it have taken Jamaicans nowhere.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Well, yes.
So the thing is, I'm from East Portland and I've seen these buses in action. Let me tell you. They were
What buses have you seen in action? The school buses?
Yes, sir. From day one, it has never passed.
Sorry.
It has never passed my workplace and it's empty.
Them
So
fools.
when they're passing remark like, no, the kids them not going at that, a whole bus them, they're never empty. And it's only one.
Yeah.
So it's already that one bus is already making a huge impact.
The school buses are progress, sir. The school buses are progress.
So it really saddened me that you have the people in the crowd that cheer what the man say. Like when I go the 100-old bus them.
But sir, leadership is more than that, because you don't expect the people. Why this thing? Sorry, boy. You expect leaders to lead and people to follow. And Mark Golden is the leader of the party. And so some people are depending upon the leader to guide how they even think. It's very important.
So would you assume that these comrades will be telling their children not, don't let me catch up on the bus there,
But can I be honest with you, sir? Can I be honest with you? Mr. Golden knows what he's saying, It's politics in my play. It's politics Golden playing, because the fact of the matter is that what am I going to say? What is he going to say? Commendation to the government.
We can talk about another issue.
Eh?
We can talk about another issue.
No, but he has to try politically to blunt this positive. He has to try it because it is obviously it can attract votes to the government, sir. And Mr. Golden don't want the government to get them vote. He want for him party to get them. Some of us say something. It's just that he not say it in a way that is offers an alternative. For example, if he says, I realize that the government is bringing in 100 school buses. I want to say that the People's National Party also has a plan or a policy to expand the school bus system across Jamaica, right? So in another 5 or 6 years, should we form government, you will see 400 buses on the island because we feel that our children ought to be traveling to school in a safe, provide decent transportation system for the government. You can say that.
That is true.
You don't lose any votes by that, Mr. Golden. You will probably win some. Yeah? And you see it, and we will have newer buses and we will have better buses. Say that. But not say our old bus, man. And that, you see them are carrying some old bus. Because them people that were standing up before you, Mr. Golden, then no old car they drive. They drive new car.
One of them not in the used car, them ride all old bicycle and I walk.
But boss man, say most of them Japanese car where we carrying for the island here, all car them.
Of course.
Yeah? Some of them 5, 6, 7 year old, have over 100.
I used to work at an insurance company, and bless your soul if you see a 2024 or 2025 car come insured.
Who can afford that, sir?
The most we get up till 1992 upwards, we get them right through the day. But anything above 2020, our rich man go come and go insure him 2020 car and hit that. He's so detached from the society, he say, when call old about use and say, all right, we reach this part of our life, we're going to comfortable with it and we're going to use it to the upgrade. And the bus can be here and upgrade next 5 years and be able if you look at the fact that they have put into place this measure and it can be upgraded.
Yeah, and let me tell you something, you see, my friend. You see, if you have a girl and she can't take taxi with you under the umbrella, don't have her when you can buy your markets and your crown. Let her go.
Exactly.
Yes, and
If you can
Based on
start
my
out with you in the one room and eat the rice and sardine, don't have her when you can buy shrimp and lobster. Let her go.
You know, I honestly believe, say, when he went to East Portland, him think he never get more support than when he gets so. Him start to reach every little thing he can find to say, to try to score political points.
The point is, sir, we have to start from somewhere as a country. We have to start from somewhere. And if we start with old boss, we start with the old boss until we can get new boss.
There, hold on. Have you guys ever seen the bus with your eyes?
Of course, I've seen them.
All right, the bus is not old. The bus have a old, it has a basically said a old model look. The bus are the painting are good. There's no dent, there's no damage, there's no rust, there's no noise. You're not now shaking, you're not now rattle. So when must say the old, they have AC work. So
It was a vintage look, vintage.
It has a vintage look, you know, but it's not an old bus.
Yes. It's not old, no.
By the way, did you know, sir, that the JUTC is actually donating buses to institutions for free? Did you know that?
I did not.
Yes, the government of Jamaica, through the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, is actually giving away buses to like charities, institutions that are community-based organizations, so like a church, yes,
I think
foundation. You can apply to the government and get a free bus. The buses that they are taking out of service, the old ones,
Yes.
they're giving them away.
I think Mr. Golden would have been transported to school in new buses in England when he was going to school. So I don't think he's in touch with the Jamaican reality.
He's far from that. When I see him look out of place, you know, man. So when people say
And when
out of place, when you see him, I know say, I know you had this. You out of place, man.
and when you're going to say you feel disappointed in him, neighbor, this man has showed us who he is from a longer time.
Yes, with the
He literally showed us, he lied to us over and over. He's standoffish, he acts cocky.
Yep.
You know, him show off in the business, Bowie. The man literally tell you who he is.
The opening as such and such.
So the fact that you're disappointed, oh no.
Yeah, but
No. I think really it's pressure. It's pressure. I reach Mr. Golden, you know, Voice of the Nation. A pressure, you know.
never,
Mr. Golden don't know what to say. He don't know what to campaign. Pressure.
never,
Voice of the Nation. Pressure on the pressure on the Golden.
Look at this.
Golden Piper boss.
Neighbor, let me make a point before I come off, right? So the lady that is called Anne-Marie Vaz, right? They may mock her for not be able to speak publicly and fluently out loud. But the support that she has with any little thing that she's do is outrageous. I've seen where even Peter Bunting put on local football match in his constituency that is now. And versus what I see Anne-Marie Vaz did, it would be like a Bob Marley funeral to somebody you don't know. Once Mrs. Vaz say, I'm going to do this, the place is ram. She usually keeps her birthday party, and trust me, that is the biggest event happens in Portland when she usually do it. Her birthday party. She keep a football league, and that is the biggest event. The football league, you know, the biggest event going in Portland. Not even Jerkfest. You know, see some more crowd, and it happened Saturday night and Sunday night for about 4 or 5 weeks. And the final was, come on, man. Or one football match had more crowd than PNP opening of their little place where them have in the corner. Or one football match. The support that she have is phenomenal.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Bless up, bless up, bless up.
Take care of yourself. Mackie Flex, you have 3 minutes.
Yes. Even everybody, quickly. There's an old adage in Jamaica that says, we don't watch noise in the market, we watch a sale. And I make that point to say this. For every election, especially the last 3 election cycles, we find that persons who make the loudest of noise are PNP supporters. And they give the impression that they have the greatest and hugest following in the country, while that's not so. And the reason I make that is case in point. 2 Saturdays or 3 Saturdays ago, the Prime Minister went through Spaldings, a division that they claim is the PNP's stronghold. And just this almost you feel around the fact that the man passed through. Persons were in the busiest places. They come out and wave. Some put up the shower finger. Some taking pictures. And the ease at which he went through and just greeting persons. I've never seen that compared to what Mark Gold has ever done. And I make the point is that we have seen, as you mentioned, neighbor, the popularity of Holness, not so much because he's a prime minister, but the tangible things that people associate him with at the community level. And I believe, as you said,
would you agree with me, Mackie, that right now it is unmeasurable, that no poll is actually able to distinguish and determine his popularity among Jamaicans?
I agree. Election night will tell.
Would you agree with me that we are going to have to wait to see what happens on election night? And would you agree with me also that if we see his popularity improving, the PNP is going to be in big trouble?
Neighbor, after the 2020 elections, the percentage victory calculation for the JLP was somewhere between 12 to 14%.
Yes.
I am of the view and very believe that come this election, which I believe is going to be next month, end of next month, right? The Prime Minister's popularity is going to be far that exceeds 2020. And I'm telling you that normally would say that if a voter turnout is higher, it favors the opposition. I am telling you that it is going to favor the Labour Party in this particular election. If the voter turnout is higher than we normally see it. I'm telling you, right? And I know you don't have much time, but listen, what happened in Northeast Manchester last Sunday, or these last 2 Sundays, is a clear indication. If the PNP would have done so well in the February 2024 election in Manchester, right? To my mind, if that just going on the strength of the local government election, JLP should never been anywhere closer to the PNP in Parish and Manchester, right? And we see that
I broke down for the listeners earlier that they are not looking at the polls. The polls, sir, are showing a clear advantage for the Jamaica Labour Party. It is showing a clear advantage because historically Jamaicans vote for the leader. They do, Mackie. Members of parliament do not attract the type of support that a party leader does. And so with both polls showing the party leader 7 and 9 points ahead, the Labour Party are clear favorites. You don't agree with me?
I agree. And to add to that, every JLP MP right now is clamoring for the Prime Minister to come in their constituency.
Why
because
is
people
that
just
so?
want to see him.
Why is that so?
People just want. No, clearly, because not only is he the leader or the Prime Minister, but as I said earlier, the tangible effect of the Prime Minister at the community level is being felt, and people want to show their appreciation for that. So this notion that not now go on and the government now reach a common man as the PNP wants to believe is not true.
Would you look at the news, Mackie, that there is no Jamaican looking at Holness that could say at least him tried? Tell me the truth.
Exactly, neighbor. When you look at the new social housing program, that's why the PNP fighting it so much, When you see an elderly lady or somebody who's crippled or indigent and tears come to the eye and them thank God and them associate the goodness of God with what the Prime Minister is doing, you can't beat that,
Yeah, let me talk to the comrades online. Comrades, let me ask you a question. You're a comrade. You have a conscience. Talk to me. Wouldn't you say that this Prime Minister has tried? Wouldn't you say that, comrades? Let's say, okay, there are areas that we need improvement in, but wouldn't you say that he has tried. Wouldn't you say that, comrades? Come on, man. Do better than that. Maki, wrap up.
Yeah. So my thing is this. The at Casey did a very a good forecast some weeks ago. When he said that, listen, if you want to know who is winning the election, you need to go to the parish of St. Elizabeth. Right? And if you want to know how much that party is winning the election by, you need to go to the parish of Manchester. I say this to say, whenever PNP wins or forms government in Manchester, they have the most 3 seats. 3 seats a month. If the Labour Party is winning 2 or more seats in Manchester, you know that is a wipeout. It's a wipeout. Right? And I'm just saying that when Casey made the point of the biggest bus that is in the history, the oldest bus rather, in Jamaica is a PNP bus, it's true. I want you to play the Perkins on that for me. I'll leave it right there.
Okay. All right. We have HR with us.
Okay,
Good night,
thank you,
HR.
Maki.
All right, Philippines, blessings.
HR? No, not,
Good night,
not
good
you.
night, good night, good night.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm good, you know. I'm good.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
No, I'm listening to the conversation. I came on when I saw you were mentioning that Jamaica's politics is leader centric.
Yes.
Right, and but we have made that point several times in the neighbor. We know that politics, the local politics, is leader centric, and that is why you find that is why we have an opposition, and it has always been a tool in their arsenal to attack the leader of the party, the Jamaica Labour Party.
Hold on. You remember when PJ said to the PNP at that meeting that Portia was the only hope of the PNP winning the election? The only hope, sir?
Yes, I believe he said it at a conference.
No, man, that's when the leadership, he made that comment at the leadership when they announced Portia as the winner. He said that she was the only hope that the PNP had. In other words, the party couldn't win the election. The candidates couldn't win the election, but she felt that Portia could win the election. I am telling Labour Rights tonight, and I am telling comrades, that Holness can win this election for the Jamaica Labour Party, sir.
As if there's any doubt, neighbor. As if there was any doubt.
He can win it. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
He can win, and I believe he can win it convincingly. And as a matter of fact, my instinct, and I think I have very good political instincts, are telling me that anything that puts Holness 10 points up on Golden, the PNP is going to have a very bad night.
Right. But to see, neighbor, although yes, Prime Minister Holness can win the election. I have no doubt in my mind about that.
Can't believe.
But I always try as a caveat, neighbor, to attach to that statement, to appeal to the Labourites to go out and vote. Do not take it for granted that because the Prime Minister is popular and he's ahead in the polls, we should resign ourselves to just that. We have to go out and make the X beside the bell. We have to vote. We can't take it for granted. So, yes, the Prime Minister is popular. Yes, he can win the election, and we know that he's going to win the election.
And I don't even know, you know, Forsyth, if it's all about popularity. I think it's about performance.
That too, yes, that too.
I really think Portia was very popular, but I don't know that Portia, as the more Portia was Prime Minister, people realized that, you know, it probably was Peter Phillips running the country more than anything else. And so popularity never did it for her. It is the same Holness that beat Portia, you know. And Portia was vastly more popular than Holness.
Yes, and she was declared to win that election too. She was declared to win that election.
She was what?
Lost. No, Portia was declared to win the election. When Holness first go up against her, she was declared to win that election. She lost. The PNP was declared to win it, and they
Yes.
lost.
Yes. So you remember the day of the election where she said if she looked like a loser.
Yes.
I mean, no poll in Jamaica, no pundit gave Holness a chance, but they won. And so the point is to be made is that it's not only about his popularity, but he is popular and he has performed. Yes, and I put performing in quotation because I'm not here suggesting that there is absolute perfection across Jamaica. But I think reasonably, you would have to admit that Jamaica today is way ahead of where it was in 2016. I don't know if you were listening to the program last night, HR, when Nissa was here. Were you listening?
No, I wasn't here.
Okay. Well, she was making the point, HR, that what Jamaicans should appreciate is the work that had to go into fixing Jamaica before we can see the seeds of growth.
Yes.
In other words, the hard lifting that had to be done. And she's suggesting that it's only now, as the government is facing the election, that Jamaica is beginning to see the fruit. So you hear them talking about cutting ribbon as if to say you can build a highway in 2 weeks, or you can build a hospital in three weeks. The ribbons are cutting now because the project started 3-4 years ago. That's how you go.
Right. And that's it. And that's the folly of our people, neighbor. To think that I say Jamaicans are the most politically unsavvy people I've ever seen. The most politically unsavvy people I've ever come across. Because that's a folly, because we believe that the effects of bad policies, they are supposed to end when the government leave office. No, they don't. They linger.
Yes.
They linger. They
Very
linger.
true.
So when Prime Minister Holness took office in 2016, there was much work to be done because the work that successive governments were supposed to do during their time previously were not being done.
I wish we could make that point more often, HR, because I think sometimes
they weren't being done.
Yes, I think sometimes we look at the end results without looking at, everybody see the baby when the baby born, but them don't see the mother 9 months pain that she had to carry, the weight. The fact of the matter is that it's a 5-year time governments having us, 5 years. And so when you go in year one and you have to, someone was saying about the procurement process, Philippines, the procurement process, HR.
Yes, we know. We have heard many ghost stories about the procurement process in government.
No, but just how long it takes to get something done. In other words, if you go in year one, you may not start that project until about year 3.
Yes,
because of the procurement process.
What case in point, neighbor? The Spark program, had it not been for the intervention of the government, which condensed that 3-year procurement process into 17 months. For Spark to go through procurement ordinarily, it would have taken 3 years. The government condensed that to 17 months.
Same thing I'm telling you. So you said the people are not savvy, sir.
Not political savvy at all.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you agree with that point. If I say nothing more, neighbor, and you disagree with everything that I said, I'm sure you agree with that point. Jamaicans are not politically savvy.
Yeah, I don't think we take time to help them do foresight to understand how government works. Yes, how government works, and I think that we have to credit. Come on, guys, wake up. We have to credit a government that has been able to get through procurement and have so many projects going on. Foresight.
But neighbor, I want to say this.
Sorry.
I want to say this, neighbor. I have never. It is the fastest I've seen the public wheel turn in Jamaica.
True.
It's the fastest I've seen the public wheel turn. And when I say public wheel, I mean public sector. The processes that government has to engage to get projects done for the people. It's the fastest I've seen the public wheel turn. Never before.
Yes, sir. And so sometimes, when I say I'm disappointed with my fellow Jamaicans, sometimes when I see these people pushing up them fists, dancing in the streets, talk about blood and fire, I say to myself, you can support your political party, HR. You can be what you want to be. But my God, man, recognize that you have a government that is trying to make your life better, and they're campaigning against it. Not politically savvy at all.
Not politically savvy. But you see, neighbor, I've come to realize and made peace with the fact that that's the nature and DNA of Jamaican politics. Yes, we can sit on these platforms like these and hope for better, hope for people to think and rationalize better, and to vote for policies and programs. But I've come to make peace with the fact that that is just how the Jamaican political landscape is and will always be. While there will be changes, there are changes in pockets in the society. Largely, the politics is adversarial. The politics is deeply passionate.
Yes.
And so I don't look to, and I always say to Labourites, do not look to comrades for validation, because the Labour Party needs absolutely no validation from the People's National Party. None.
Yes.
Absolutely.
HR, you use 2 minutes before we have to go. We need to give Tari some time. Use 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, HR, to tell the over 350 people listening to us, why is it necessary, and why would you recommend to them that they continue with this Jamaica Labour Party government? Tell us why.
Why? Good question, neighbor. We should continue with the current administration, because I'm going to use Singapore. We love to talk about Singapore and cite Singapore in our conversations and compare Jamaica to Singapore. But the key ingredient in Singapore, in the Singaporean experience, is the
Success,
fact that Singapore had sustainability. And when I say sustainability, I mean the agenda that Lee Kuan Yew used to get Singapore on track was sustained. There was no change in the progress. There was no change in administration. And yes, we know that Singaporean switched to authoritarian government to achieve that. And I'm not advocating that Jamaica should go down that route. But what I'm trying to highlight here is that it was sustained. It was sustained effort that got Singapore to where it is today. And
in other words, there was no break. There was no break in their progress.
There you go. And so to bring that closer to home, so we elect a government in 2016, and that has proven to us that it can get us to where we want to go. We have a government that has shown us what governments are supposed to do when we elect them, right? It's not a case where this current administration is asking for a third term, but has not done anything with the 2 mandates that it was given.
Yes.
We can clearly see the work and the efforts and the programs of the government, and we must stick on that path. It must be sustained if Jamaica is to get where we want to see where Jamaica must go. Yeah. So the progress, the work, the administration must be sustained. And Jamaica, and what I also
you're talking about continuity.
Yes.
Yes.
Elections
and then
of consequences, people.
Yes, and then HR. What do you envision? What do you envision under a break? Let's say there is a break in this sustainability that you want. You talk about what we could be set back, eh?
If they, God forbid, the continuity were to be broken, right? It would be a regressive step. It would be a retrograde step, because we have seen it several times over. If you listen to the current opposition, they have enunciated absolutely no plans what they would do differently if they come to government. But every single effort and program of this current administration, they fight against it. It's a problem for them. And I know largely it is political, but the onlooking electorate is not thinking about it being political. They're not seeing it as political. We have to be careful, neighbor.
Yes.
If we break the stride now, if we break the continuity, if we break the process now, it's going to be a retrograde step. Because every single effort, where we are, where we have reached now in our process of development, it will be rolled back.
Yes, and HR, I think you sound like a man who is matured. You would have passed through many elections in Jamaica, have you? You've been around for a while?
Yes.
You've been around for a while, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Jamaica this promising? Have you ever seen us at this, almost the tipping point? Have you ever seen us here before?
No. And our history, our political and development history will tell you that, neighbor. No, Jamaica is now seeing its moment. It's now experiencing its moment of renaissance. It's renaissance moment under the current administration. After 30, 40 odd years post-independent, we are just seeing our moment of renaissance. Yes.
Explain that to our listeners. What do you mean, renaissance?
So renaissance really is rebirth. It's almost as if Jamaica is starting over. It's almost as if Jamaica is starting over economically. Because we know the period of the 90s under the People's National Party, there's no growth. There's no period of registered growth under the People's National Party. None. And I challenge any comrade to cite a period during the administration of the People's National Party where Jamaica grew, where Jamaica prospered. None. We like to talk about the 18 years of People's National Party. Those 18 years are missing because there's nothing to show for it. And when I say that, neighbor, I don't mean the People's National Party hasn't contributed in some way. Don't take me wrong now. They would have created some institutions.
Yes.
So I'm not completely rubbishing the People's National Party and their governance. Because to be quite frank, they created some institutions. But largely, their governance did not yield much benefit for the Jamaican people and economy. If you check, go back to the 60s, neighbor. I might be going a little way back, but in the 60s, Jamaica was under Shearer. Jamaica was growing at 18%. Yes, when Michael Manley took over the first Manley regime, 1972, there was a relapse. The country relapsed. The business class had to vacate Jamaica because of Manley's socialist experiment. And no government alone, neighbor, can grow an economy. No government, none.
Yes, you need the private sector.
You need businesses. You need the private sector.
It's capitalism.
Government's duty is not to grow economies or to own businesses. You need your private sector. You need commerce. You need the cut and thrust of commerce. And that sector had to vacate Jamaica on the demand of Manley, who tell them to take plane and go. If they don't like his socialist experiment. Jamaica relapsed. Jamaica suffered.
Sorry, Philippians is starring next. You see, we close with that. So we can't take anybody else after HR. Okay? Please, thanks. Yes, HR, go ahead.
So elections, the simple point I'm making here, neighbor, elections have consequences. It matters who represents the people. It matters which government you have at the helm. It matters which driver you have in the driver's seat. It matters. It affects everything. And yes, whichever government is in office, you're going to wake up tomorrow and go to work.
Yes.
But what is the sum total? What is the effect that government will have on your life long term. It matters.
And HR, finally, place Holness within our history. How is he? How you rate him?
How do I rate him? I assuming your the rating scale is 1 out of 10.
Comparing to the others.
Right. So Holness is what I call an enigma.
Enigma.
An enigma.
Yes.
Because as I said earlier, neighbor, Jamaica is now experiencing its moment of renaissance. When we elected Holness in 2016,
yes,
and we gave him another mandate in 2020. In 2016, on both occasions, he could have came in to office and regressed. The country could have regressed under his leadership. The country could have take a step backwards under his administration. But instead, the man came to us and showed us the vision. He showed us what his vision is for Jamaica, where he wants to go. And not only did he only show us the vision, he took us along with him. He took us along with him. So when the state government have cut ribbon and a break ground, that is taking the people along with you, you know. That is taking a part of that, is taking the people along with you. The people must have you must receive buy-in from the electorate, or else your vote at the polls is in problems. So when ground a break and the man, and you see a whole camera crew following the Prime Minister, that is the Prime Minister taking the Jamaican people along with him. A part of the vision. If you listen to what he said, neighbor, he broke up Jamaica's development since 2016 in phases. He said the first phase was to set the foundation. To set the foundation, his first 2 terms was to set the foundation. The third term that he's now seeking is to launch. It's almost as if you're creating a launch board, neighbor. Oh. So he's supposed to set a launch board and then launch. Yeah. Just to use the
Go back over them for me, no? Go back. Taria, coming to you. Go back over that for me, please.
So the Aspire conference that he had. Do you remember the Aspire conference that he had?
No, I don't remember it at all. That's why I want to catch up my memory.
Excuse me, you know, we really need to play that clipping one evening. Go ahead, HR, of the Aspire conference.
Send it to me, Philippines.
Okay.
Yes.
HR, go ahead.
So the Prime Minister had the Aspire conference, I think last year, Philippine, if I'm not mistaken. Last year he had the Aspire conference.
Yes.
At Jamaica House. And the purpose of that conference is to bring together government and business class. And
it's called The Next Chapter.
The Next Chapter, thank you.
Yes.
The purpose of that conference is to bring together social government, private interests, and social groups together. Now, I don't recall word for word the conference. I would have to look back at the media.
I'm going to beg you. Look back at it for me, and when you come back, we're going to delve into it a little, because it's fundamental, you know, HR, because it's about visioning, eh? Go ahead, sir.
Right. So the Aspire conference was an opportunity for the Prime Minister to also take the Jamaican people along with him. At every stage, he stopped, he paused, and he showed us what the vision is, what he wants for Jamaica, what he wants to achieve, right? The governance, Andrew Holness governance, is different from any other Prime Minister. The governance that I saw with every other Prime Minister before him. It is different. He speaks to the people. At every platform he got, even when I distribute social housing, he took the time to explain what government is doing. He tried to break it down so that you can understand. And if you listen, when he's on a political platform, his messaging is different. While the MPs will come and talk about, some will come with the theatrics. The Prime Minister's message is always sober, always trying to talk to the people, trying to bring the people along with him. Explain.
You think as many Labourites are saying that he's the best that we have had?
He's the best.
He's the best?
If you speak to any random Labourite neighbor in your community, wherever you go, they will tell you that that Prime Minister Holness is the best. No other Prime Minister on both sides. I have a certain respect and reverence for Prime Minister Bruce Golding, but
yes.
Andrew, the governance, the leadership of Andrew, it's running ahead of Prime Minister Golding. Prime Minister was sober, level-headed, but Andrew, his leadership and what his leadership has achieved for Jamaica, no other Prime Minister beats him. None. No other before him. On both
what
sides.
What you saying to me?
On both sides.
You rate him very highly.
Yes.
Oh boy. Well, listeners, that's HR's little views on you tonight. HR, thank you so much for your sir.
Anytime.
Look.
HR, you heard that the economy has grown by 1.1% in the first quarter of this year. So you can imagine what the growth will be like by the end of this year and how that will impact the entire country and how it will impact citizens and our institutions. Right. You understand?
When I say neighbor, just a brief point here before I wrap up.
Yes.
I saw the news on Twitter this afternoon. I was in my office and I saw the news on Twitter, and I went into the comment section and I saw this one comment that says, "Oh, that's what is 1.1%." And just to use this example to show you that Jamaicans are just to reiterate, Jamaicans are one of the most politically unsavvy people I've ever come across. When an economy grow by 1.1%, that's big for an economy of our size. That's massive. By 1.1%, that is massive.
We need to research when our economy has ever grew 1.1% in any other administration. We need to research that.
That's quarterly growth.
First quarter.
In the first quarter, yes.
So people see the information, they don't take the time to digest it and ask questions if you don't know. But they see 1.1% and they start to criticize them and ask what is 1.1%.
Well, Courtney, Jamie is saying that you are to come here every night. Tell him that you are regular here.
Oh, that's Courtney James in the comments. Thank you, sir. Yes. But yes, I'm a regular.
Yes,
I'm a regular here on Neighbors program.
Your intervention tonight was masterful, sir. Thank you so much.
No, anytime, neighbor. You see, if, what as I say, while I say Jamaicans are one of the most politically unsavvy people, you see, some persons, if you take the time and talk to some people, those who are prepared to listen and to absorb the information, you can make an impact on them. But largely, Jamaicans, if you do not, we're so politically unsavvy, because when you see 1.1% and you start to question it, that tells me immediately that you have no clue what you're talking about. Because if you knew what 1.1% mean for an economy like Jamaica,
in terms of the amount of resources that brings in.
Exactly. And money. Every sector, if you look at the data that Statin published this afternoon, every single sector, with the exception of two, is progressing.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Bless you. Take care. By the way, listeners, this is how we try to conduct the program. You hear? Providing you with information. Have a great night. Foresight, take care of yourself. Listeners, we're going to close with Tari here.
HR.
Same tune. Thank you so much. It's 6 minutes to 9 o'clock. 6 minutes to 9 o'clock. Tari, you've been here with us all night. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, I'm doing well. Good evening, everyone. Still, it's 6 minutes to 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Yes, good evening, Philippians HR. Blessings to you. Blessings to everyone in the chats. What a week and a season it has been.
Good program tonight, Tari. Good program.
Yes, I will say. Good program tonight, indeed. You know, neighbor.
Yes.
As you touched the point about the buses, you know,
yes,
it struck a nerve in me, if I could say, in the sense that I didn't grow up in the rural area. I have no idea what it is like. Well, let me not say I don't have any idea, but I visited the rural area a few times. But I'm a Kingstonian.
You're one of those privileged. You're one of those privileged boys.
No, me never. So I'm a privileged, no, I know. Still there in the inner city, but I'm a Kingstonian. But I would have been somewhat exposed to the rural area because my mom came from Gordy Town. So I've been up there a few times, and my father's side of family actually come from St. James.
Yes.
So I've been exposed to some of the realities and experiences that they would have had. And neighbor, when the PNP can come out and say, oh, the bus them 30 of the whole bus or a whole bus or whatever it may be, neighbor, it strike a nerve in me, neighbor.
In me too, sir. And as I said to you earlier, the reason why it strike a nerves in me is, my God, I would have been so happy when I was a boy in Jamaica going to school if I had anything remotely near to this.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, I walked, I remember walking from Christiana to Mandeville because there were no buses. From Christiana to Mandeville, sir.
Right.
We're coming, a people that don't know its history is condemned to fail. And where Jamaica is today, we mustn't take it lightly. That we are now importing cool buses, and the best you can talk about is that it's old bus. My God.
Bus. Right, neighbor.
Let me tell you something. Where I come from in Manchester, there were two taxis, Mass Glen and Herbie. Those of you who know me and know where me come from. Two taxis, Mass Glen and Herbie. Two of them dead now. And Herbie used to save one space under in the old Valiant for me. I'm on in time. And I'm and you know how many people were in the front of the car, so sometimes the morning time? All 10.
Boy, oh boy.
Can you imagine? In the front of the car, all 10 people.
Yep.
Because everybody double up. Right? And him used to know my mother. So he save one space under him arm. Him barely catch off. I steer the car. And he left one little space under his arm for me a morning time.
Yes.
To get to school. That's where we're coming from, sir. I don't remember sitting down in any bus to go to school. I don't remember sitting down in no bus. You have to turn up for miles. Right? And so when we bring our country to a place in 2025, I never know that I would have lived fit to the day when school bus service come to Jamaica. Me never know if I'm gonna live fit to them days, yeah.
Hey, boy. Right? Yeah.
So let us ease ourselves. Let us not put down this. It's a big something. Jamaica.
It is a big thing, neighbor, because when I hear sometimes my mother will tell me how she would have to cross Burrell River and go to a village and as of course as you say, and much taxi without there. Right? You pray, you have to literally a pray, say you see one vehicle pass.
You see how this part
reaching up a pin, you know.
Sir? Right? A food stamp. When I was a boy, a food stamp, you get food stamp ticket to go pick up few little things at supermarket. You hear me tell you something, sir? Me wear one pair of shoes for maybe 4 years. So a good days now in Jamaica, nobody discount this thing you hear, brethren.
Yes.
This year is a good
Because
thing.
because neighbor, yeah man, HR go.
If I can interject here, neighbor, you see, some of us, and I said it already, you know, even the persons who are criticizing the government and criticizing the projects, they're criticizing it because of the trauma that they have suffered over the years. And when I say trauma, I mean they have come to resign to the notion that Jamaica is only a certain way. They're only used to the highly indebted Jamaica, the poor Jamaica, the bad road Jamaica, the IMF controlled Jamaica, the Jamaica that has the basket case Jamaica. That's the Jamaica that they're used to. So now that you have an administration being led by the current Prime Minister, changing that, changing the perception, changing the status quo, those persons have yet to recoil from their shock, and in some cases, they have yet to recoil from it because they're only used to Jamaica being saddled with debt. So when they have a government now that can boast pretty much that it brought the debt from 140% of GDP to 60-something% of GDP. Some people can't believe it. They criticize it. They're only used to their trauma. The old Jamaica that they're used to. They never lived. They wouldn't know that they would live to see a day where Jamaica can fund itself, where the national budget is $1 trillion and more.
Yeah,
Jamaica can stand on its own 2 feet financially.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me tell my listeners this. Confidence. Where I'm from in the country, confidence. The old confidence boss. Lord Jesus Christ. I know yes where I come from. I know yes where I come from, you know. We suck salt through wooden spoon. Jamaicans, I know yes where I come from. You see me sitting up right here so tonight, talking to you over there, so. I know yes where I come from. A 444. We're coming from roast potato, bammy, sugar and water. Right? We have to walk barefoot. Go to school. You hear me I tell you something, say? And when we come today in 2025, till we are import buses from overseas for we picnic them go to school, and our opposition is talking about whole bus. It not sound good.
That's why we can't elect someone like this
And
neighbor. We can never elect someone like this who has never walked a day in our footstep.
Yes, ma'am.
Who has never walked a day in our shoes.
I know about getting up 4 o'clock and walking 4 miles to go catch a bus. 4 miles to get an education. Yeah. Don't tell me about old bus.
And neighbor, you know, say it's not only that. Well, I mean, the comment I say did hurt me, and you know, when I look at this program, I'm not only thinking about how a financial burden would have been taken off of the parents, because you have to realize that there are a whole heap of other benefits of this. You know, you're talking about safer transportation for students to go to and from school. Mr. Vaz even come out and say, listen, we're going to have a card-based system that the parent and the school can know when the student reach school and when the student reach them yard. Because the bus will carry them directly from them yard to the school and back. And additionally, because you know how a lot of schools right now love talk about punctuality. And you must be early for school. And you must reach place on time. And I'm going to tell you, neighbor, as a student, but not only as a student, as a prefect, right? I have sometimes when I work with the campus department in my school, sometimes I have to stay at the gate and do logbook for the people that were coming late. Them have to write them name and time and ID and everything. And when I look at that, I'm saying, these are the things being provided to people so that they can even be more punctual. This is taking students out of the stress of getting whatever sanction the school would normally give them, whether it was
Wait a minute, Tari. You know,
or whatever.
The old people say Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. I bless my eyes, colleagues. Bless my eyes, Jamaica, that I am alive. I am alive to see that a school bus system is coming to this blessed country. You think say me, a student of the 70s, ever dream that this could happen? But yes, we can. Who said I have a dream? Who ever dreamed that we could have instituted and implemented for our children a school bus system?
Yep.
Yes, we can. And if we can import old bus in 2 or 3 years, we can go to new buses, Mr. Golden. Yes, we can.
Yep.
We have to give our people hope. We have to believe, but we have to start from somewhere. You get what I'm saying to you, sir? And we need to preserve monuments in our history and in our young people, so that people understand and know, yes, where Jamaica come from. Right? My lunch was bammy. Bammy. Me nothing no picnic in Jamaica today. I eat bammy for them lunch. And drink lemonade. Okay? So we have to understand where is it we are coming from and appreciate the small steps that we have made. Right? Small steps that we have made. And if we have made small steps, we can make larger steps, and then larger steps, Mr. Golden. We build upon the little successes we have. Don't criticize the old boss them, man. Don't do it. Yeah, Jamaica is not a wealthy country. This is not Singapore. This is not Japan. This is not the United States. This is Jamaica, 63 years old. Right? 63 years old. Right? Our people have the vestiges of slavery still in their blood. And now, the slaves, right? Descendants of slaves are now importing buses for their children to ride on to go to school. What a blessing.
Yeah, what a blessing.
Friends, you see, and that is why I can't take, even if I wasn't an ardent Labourite. Let us say I was undecided and looking on the political scene and which party I'm going to vote. I can't take the People's National Party seriously. I can't take Mark Golden seriously. I can't take him seriously. It doesn't inspire. It doesn't move the dial for me. It doesn't inspire hope. It doesn't inspire it doesn't inspire anything in me at all. Because when you have an administration, because we have a problem, we are school students, right? Students, the problem that they go through to get to and from school is a problem. And now we have an administration that is curing that by developing a bus system solely for students. And even as the opposition leader, my mind right now, neighbor, having this conversation with you, my mind right now, I'm saying, even if I was the opposition leader, I wouldn't make that a political point. It wouldn't be a part of my speech. It wouldn't be a part of my presentation to
you can left that alone.
Right. But to knock it now and talk about all boss, what did your party do to cure the problem? Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. And you come talk about old boss and wrong mathematics. It would have served him better if he had left that out of the conversation, take it from the political stage, leave it.
I think so too.
Leave it alone. Don't carry it on the political stage.
Yes, sir, but they drive around in Prados, right? And these big old expensive vehicles. And poor people is getting, you know, a little relief. Huh? You know what it is to stand up in these bus stops, sir? You know, sir, I feel like a proud Jamaican. I tell you the truth. When I see the JUTC buses in the mornings rolling up into the towns, picking up the students, I feel so proud as a Jamaican. Sometimes I want to bawl. Tears drop out of my eye. Because I know the struggle. I go through it myself. Yes? When I see pulling up in Old Harbour, Jesus Christ. You understand me? Sometimes when you're going to Old Harbour town in the morning time and see picnic by the hundreds, stand up. Can't get no bus to go to school. Turn up at the bus stop. Right? In a uniform. In a sun. And the principals are at the school gates. Locking them out.
Yep.
And when I see the JUTC buses rolling up into the towns, going to Maypen and the school picking them, lining up and going on the bus, I feel so proud as a Jamaican. I said to myself, God bless this government here. Yes? Can't be partisan, you can't be a hypocrite. Linstead, double-decker bus coming over Flat Bridge. Right? And now the picnic them, I go had in one bus. Right? What a society we are built. What a society.
Little by little, neighbor. Little by little. Incrementally.
Brick by brick.
Incrementally. And that is why I said that is why I'm pleading to the Jamaicans. Go out.
What wrong with that, sir?
And vote for the Jamaica Labour Party. We must ensure that there's continuity of the progress that we're seeing. We can't afford to break it out. The People's National Party is an expense we cannot afford right now.
Me tell them,
it's an expense we can't afford.
Me walk from Christiana, you know. From Christiana to Mandeville. You know how long that's up? Because me couldn't get no bus to come home, brethren. Things are better in Jamaica today. And I want to repeat it because I want my listeners to understand the pride I feel as a Jamaican when I see students, when you come at Old Harbour morning time, empty, picnic gone on the bus, gone to school, right? The buses are run on time, right? This is a progress, man. No knock it, brethren, no knock it. No knock it. We are not where we want to be, but we're not where we were. We're not where we want to be, but we're definitely not where we were. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. One step at a time. Tari?
Yes, neighbor. One step at a time, man. This government has done so much with the liquor they have, and I'll give you an example that someone used recently that opened my eyes, neighbor. You see mothers, especially some of our single mothers or average suburban mothers or working mothers, neighbor, don't underestimate the strength of that mother, neighbor. You know why, neighbor? That mother knows what you as a child want. They know how you feel. They know what you need. They know what you expect of them, and they try their best. And they can't give you everything in the moment, but they do at least what they can do so that you can live the life. Right? so that you can live the life that they weren't able to experience, if I could say it like that, neighbor.
Yes.
And
Jamaica girl,
that
find
is
Nisa for me. Find Nisa for me and tell her to give me 10 minutes. I want to ask her something. Go ahead.
And
Sorry.
that is exactly what the Prime Minister is doing. I mean, yeah, the Prime Minister is a male, you know, but that is exactly what the Prime Minister is doing, right? He knows our needs. He knows our struggles. He knows our wants. He knows what we are in need of, what we are demanding. He knows all of that. He knows, right? But guess what? He also understands that, hey, we have limited resources. So because we have limited resources, I'm not going to be able to do everything, but I will do at least what I can to ensure that you can live the life that I wasn't able to have back then, that many of us weren't able to have back then. That is what the Prime Minister is doing. As Nisa would have said yesterday, challenging the subconscious minds of the people.
Wow.
That is what he's doing.
She's here. She's here. Nisa?
Good night, Tyree. Well said.
What you're going to do now is to keep me up beyond beyond my bedtime. Nisa, a school bus system being introduced in Jamaica. Isn't that a good thing?
It should be celebrated across the entire country. It's more than a good thing.
Yes, and I have argued, Nisa, that this is not only about a bus on 6 wheels, but in terms of how it can socially transform a society, creating order and discipline among our students. Not to mention what you can do inside of that bus, which is a controlled environment with these students as they travel to school.
And Minister Vaz has already uploaded videos, a live feed actually, so a video with a live recording that he did tracking the buses as they traveled through Portland, because they're doing their testing phase right now in his and his wife's constituencies, so that they can do a proper rollout for September. They have extensively thought about every angle that they could and are trying it on a small level to a large level. And then when you talk about the impact of the psychological and emotional impact on the students, to just not have to think about to have one less thing to think about. Our students burden so much. They have so much burdens with them when they're going to school that they can't even focus properly in school because they're thinking about things that big people alone supposed to think about. So if the government can come in and say, let me do my part and reduce the burden on the family, reduce the burden on our children, what is wrong with that? What is in that to criticize? I don't know.
Yeah, and so the opposition leader, Nisa, what is wrong with Mr. Golden? What is happening to him?
I think he's spiraling.
Out of control?
Yeah, the kind of spiraling where he's recognizing that he's losing ground. And so instead of rooting his message in wisdom, he is now just losing control. Yeah, he's spiraling. I genuinely believe he's mentally spiraling throughout this process.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that that a person who wants to gain political power could be out there talking to largely poor people about old bus.
As though all we never traveled from old bus at one point in time and we're quite fine with it. Have memories with our grandmothers on old bus. Catch up with people. As a little child, sometimes you have to sit down and catch on somebody's lap. You have to hold market goods. All of us who've lived an authentic Jamaican experience know what that experience is like. We know the pain of it. When your foot gets stepped on, what somebody step on your toe, you can't sit down right. You have to squeeze up, itch up, go to the front. That is a very unique Jamaican experience. You do not speak down on something like that because there is.
Isn't that people what is calling the inauthentic concern they have about the opposition leader, that he's not connecting, he's not authentic.
Here's the thing. I'd split that. I don't particularly think that this comment was inauthentic. I think it is very authentic as a reflection of the subconscious and the mind of the man.
Oh.
That was an authentic comment about his beliefs about our culture. and the things that we go through. You want me to do that one again?
No, I want you to explain that.
All right. We're talking about authenticity, right? Truth.
Yes.
When you are on a political platform and you can't really rehearse it, he's winging it right now. So he's speaking from autopilot, meaning that his subconscious beliefs, the things that he believes silently within himself, are going to slip out at times. So when he says, "I be your old boss," he is communicating his value system regarding what he thinks is important. What he does not recognize is that there's a difference between what he's prioritizing as important and what is actually important to the people. The people don't care that it is quote unquote
absolutely
whole bus. Have you seen the state of the buses? They're in very good condition. And they're running them through now to the pilot program to see what needs to be improved. They're fix the door on the correct side. They're not chippy. The paint is clean. None of the seats are stripped. They look like brand new buses. And when the students go into the buses, I saw a video that with one of the students, them say, "Yeah, man, I can't get used to this." The little boy face light up, neighbor. So why are we trying to shroud this magnificent and beautiful experience for our students in this political cas? Leave this topic alone. This is not for political football at all.
Absolutely. So what you're saying is that his lived reality is in dissonance with the reality of the majority of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because the majority of Jamaicans would appreciate this.
Exactly. And do appreciate it.
You know, Nisa, I have never bought a new car. I don't know if you have.
I have not. It's used car I buy too.
I've never. I was telling this, a pure car I buy, I hope one day, I really do, that I can go up to ATL and probably buy. I do. But I have never driven a new car.
And that's the majority of experience for Jamaicans as well. Most Jamaicans don't buy a new vehicle. They don't believe in buying a new vehicle, first of all, because 20% of the value gone the minute you drive it off the lot.
Yes.
And neighbor, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the car. You get to point A from point to point B, don't it? In the old car.
Well, I'm broke down the road sometime, but
you just want to get to where you're going.
Yeah, it broke down sometime, but you have to patch them up and go on. Nisa, what type of opposition leader do we have here? Who do we have as an opposition leader, Nisa?
In my opinion, somebody that is deeply unaware of the reality of the lived experience of Jamaicans. Which I'm very concerned because many people in to the left and to the right of him should be able to communicate the faux pas that he's constantly repeating on the political stage. I am not getting the sense that there is somebody strategically guiding his communication. And even if there is, clearly he goes off script and tries to wing it and to try to come up like a quote-unquote man of the people, because he thinks that speaking patois is enough, as though people are stupid and not able to actually dissect what he is saying. So he's deeply unaware, very misguided, very unwise individual culturally.
I'll say that if I can, Nissa, just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Mark Golding come out himself and stand beside him oneself, even if he stand up beside him oneself, he cannot. The people that will run behind Mark Golding and talk about fire and blood, comrade, and time come. Mark Golding cannot identify with their struggles, with their lived reality. No matter how he try, he cannot identify with it. Can't.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I come back to the point that I made earlier, neighbor. Jamaicans are the most politically unsavvy people I've ever had the displeasure of knowing.
Yeah. Nisa, who is winning the election?
The Jamaica Labour Party. I decree and declare in Jesus' name.
Well, yes. After that prophecy, let us look at it. Who is winning at this time? Tell us.
For me, it has to be Andrew. Man. It has to be Andrew easily.
Holness is winning.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Ah.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Because the people are not foolish. The people are not stupid. Yes, we're partisan and we're political, but there comes a moment, in everybody's individual silence where they have to sit down and really look at some things. And I find that more and more people are saying, no, man, this government, I try, them a work. And this busting, I think it is going to cause some ripples in some spaces in the country that will not bode well for the PMP. And they should stop speaking about it. Damian Crawford should stop arguing with Daryl Vaz on Twitter about the numbers and the execution and just petty, absolutely petty, sir. Stop it. And Damian, it is beneath you to behave like that, honestly. Anything that advances the welfare of our children, you should be one of the first people as Mr. Education championing it, which is why I believe the ethos of the PMP is in the wrong place right now. They do not know how to respond to the positive progress that we are making, and that is a problem.
That is a fantastic point. Yes. Repeat it and enlarge on it for me, please.
They don't know how to deal with the fact that the government is actually making progress and doing well. They are befuddled. They're confused. They can't attack the usual angles that they would have. Can't attack crime. Why? Because there's progress. Can't attack roads. Yeah, the roads are still a concern, but things are being done. Everything that you want to come at the government with, they can say to you, okay, well, this is what we've done so far. This is the plan. This is the proof, whatever. They are not taking an approach that is rooted in reality. They're trying to take on the same approach of the previous election cycles that we've had, where you can fling mud, sling this, sling that. It's not working because the people are seeing with their own two eyes. You can't lie. Every day, you just tell lie, be a lie. People are seeing that things are happening. No, man.
Yeah. What are the issues, Nissa, in your view, that are going to be in the center of the people's minds as they head to the polls in a few weeks' time? My final question: what do you think people are going to be thinking about?
It is my hope that people think about the major national issues like the reduction in crime and the fact that people genuinely feel safer. It is my hope that that is what people go to the polls thinking about, the fact that the JCF is actually walking heads high with pride, and that people feel like there's a structure there's a type of governance that is not just in the JCF but permeating throughout the entire government machinery. No, I really don't know what people are going to go into the polls with, because everybody I hear have a different opinion. I see people that I talk to say, well, not happening for me, so I can't vote for my MP. And I constantly have to largen the perspective and bring out the perspective a little bit to let them understand that voting is not a single issue process. If you vote on single issue processes, you are going to be in problems, because here you are benefiting from a reduction in crime and you don't even have enough awareness to recognize it. That is a problem that we have in this country. People, we are so not used to things going well. I think I heard somebody say this earlier, maybe you, neighbor, that would even know how to stop and recognize when good things are happening. And because of that, we may lose. We stand at the crossroads where we may lose this opportunity that we're in at the moment, because we are an ungracious people. We're very ungrateful, and we don't know how to stand in a moment and give God thanks. And give thanks for the fact that we are making progress. If it is an ungrateful people that head to the polls, then it's going to be problematic. If it is our people that decide to, no man, we need to put this government back in power because they are working, then they'll be re-elected. So we'll see.
Thank you so much. You here?
Yes, boss. My pleasure. You know I love talking to you, man.
Eh?
My pleasure. You know I love talking to you, man. It's a lovely place.
We don't talk often enough, eh? Thank you. Listeners, That's gonna have to be for me tonight. By the way, Jamaica girl, I see that there are listeners waiting. I wonder if we could give them 2 minutes each, please. I have to go shortly. Yeah. Are there listeners there?
Oh, neighbor.
Yes.
Jamaica girl has been asking for a video to be played. I believe it's the one of Prime Minister Holness. She wanted me to play the video.
Okay. You have it there?
Yeah, man, I have it.
All right. We can.
All right.
And there are people who are trying to tell my story, trying to define me. And I listen, I see all the lies they publish, all the falsehood and false narratives they carry. I don't always respond because I don't go through third parties. I talk directly to the people of Jamaica. When the people of Jamaica see me and hear me and touch me and feel me, they know I am real. I am from them. I am like them. I went through their struggles. I understand their struggles and I'm true to them. I am your child, I am your son, I am your brother, I am your uncle, and now I could be your father. You are my family.
All right. Yep.
Yes.
That's Holness at the announcement of the local government elections in what 2024? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Timmy?
Yes, good night.
Timmy?
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night to you. How are you?
Good night.
I'm all right. I was listening to the bus that they sent to the rural areas.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I know about the tracking. Parents could track the movement of their child, right?
That's what I'm understanding. That no, I don't think the parents can track them. I think the ministry.
The ministry can track them. Okay.
Track the buses. Track the buses.
No, man.
Yes, that's what I'm.
Yeah, but
yeah.
parents would also be notified when their child reaches school.
Okay.
Okay.
So all right. What I would like them to implement is like some police officers like work on peak hours, because when you have all students, you have a lot of fights, and you have a lot of, they bring weapons and stuff like that. So I would like them to, like a police officer can, in the peak hours in the early morning and the peak hours when they come in from school, they could sit on the bus, maybe one police officer or maybe two, because when you have all the students, you have a lot of fights and stuff like that. You understand? So I think they should think about that also.
Okay, so you are suggesting that we consider preemptive measures to prevent students from fighting and things like that, eh?
Yes, and promiscuous behavior.
But Timmy, we can't have a society where we have to put police on bus because people never fight, man.
Yeah, but they have weapons. So I'm just saying that could be an addition.
But you don't think they have weapons now?
Yes, they have. But remember, when they are taking the regular bus and taxis, you have adults on there. So they're more when adult is on the bus, them kind of more control. You understand?
Oh.
All students. When it's all students, you have more. They're more boosted and
rowdy.
Yes, more road.
Yeah.
Schoolers roll out with Daryl Vatsy. So, schoolers is a school thing. On the Harvard Tree buses, sometimes they go to Harvard Tree 3-4 times for the day. You understand? On the same bus, up and down, up and down. So I'm saying when you have all schoolers, it's outrageous, man. But it's a good thing, I love the buses, But I'm just saying.
Are you a student, sir?
No, I'm not a student. I'm a adult.
Okay.
I was a student. Yes. I'm way over 30.
Okay. Your voice sounds pretty young.
Yes, that's what everybody say. So, they should look into that because you're going to have a lot of reports with fights and, So
that's a good point, sir. That's a good point.
Yes, that's my 2 cents. I love the bus though. I love the buses.
Which parish are you from? Portland?
I'm from Kingston.
You're from Kingston.
Okay.
Yes, but
fantastic.
I was born in Westmoreland, deep west rural.
You listen to this program, sir?
Yes, I always do.
You do? Oh, lovely. What do you think of it?
It's great, man. That's the reason why I listen to it.
Well, thank you, sir. Tell your friends about it, eh?
Yes, man. Just they always listen to it, man. The people are wise. A lot of wise people are in. So I'll always listen to it.
Is it your first time coming up?
On the box, yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I requested last night, but I never get put up.
What song you love? Let's play a song for you. What song you love?
What song I love?
Yes.
Oh my. I listen to a lot of dancehall though.
Tell me one.
Oh my. I don't let me think about it for 2 minutes.
All right, sir. Take care.
Yes.
But neighbor, just before you move on though, it's my understanding as a student that every school supposed to have an assigned police officer.
Okay. All right. Bro Zion 3.
Yeah, man. Bless night everyone on.
Good night.
Firstly, let me just declare I'm from Westmoreland. And with the work that the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister of Transportation is now doing, I cannot be silent about it. It's the first time in my over 39 years here. I am seeing this form of transformation in the transportation sector. As in my time when I was going to school under the 18.5 years of a former Prime Minister, BJ, I have never seen an initiative such as this one.
Yes.
And, is to all the people who wish Jamaica well, not to allow any negative thing to come upon them, to cause them to cast their franchise for another leadership, as we have one of the greatest leader in all my years of living, the Dr. Honorable Andrew Holness. And I dare to say that, if these programs were in place when I were going to school, my dream would have not.
You're breaking up a little here, my son.
Yeah, man, my dream, my passion would have been reached, already. Because education is more affordable now, and the care that this government have for
he's breaking up though, Jamaica girl. We're not hearing you out. We're not hearing you at all.
You can have Mr. Rick Taylor in the box.
Yes, Rick
Taylor. Mr. Rick Taylor.
Rick Taylor.
Yes, Mr.
You're the
Neighbor.
final one.
Good night. Yeah, man. Good night. You know,
how you doing,
I've
sir?
always been not bad, not bad. I'm good, sir. You know,
Speak up a
I've
little.
always been. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing fine. You know, I've always been listening to your program, and your program is a wonderful program. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. When I listen to your program, I have learned a lot from your program. I'm not sure if you're hearing me well.
No, I'm not hearing you well at all. I have to be straining my ears.
All right, let me. You're hearing me now?
A little better.
Yes, I said when I've listened to your program, I've learned a lot from your program.
Well, thank you.
Yes, it's my first time in your box.
Wow. New listeners, Jamaica girl.
Yes, man. But I am an 80s born, and all of my childhood, you know, I've grown up under the PNP government. You understand? I am from Westmoreland, to say. I am from Westmoreland, in the White House division. Yes, so I'm saying I've grown up most of my life, all of my life, under the PNP government. You understand? And it's the best I've ever seen, you know, Jamaica. Right? I am a taxi operator. And with the initiative of these school buses, I know a lot of operators not agree with this whole system because they claim that it's going to take away their revenue. You understand? But I am also a father, and this school bus thing, a
listener saying that they thought you were biased, but after listening to you carefully, they realized that they were wrong. Wow. I wonder why they thought you were biased.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Juliet said that she thought you were biased.
No, I am not biased because if my government if they come up with an idea that doesn't suit us, especially my taxi community, I would come out on social media and you know, try to debunk. You understand? I am a fair person. You understand? And I know there's a lot of parents who cannot afford it. You understand? And even with the taxi operators, because
but you have been on other platforms?
Yes, I've been on other platforms.
Well, maybe she's listening to you over on the other platforms.
But I can't recall of ever being biased.
Well, she said that you biased.
No, neighbor. She said she's talking about you, neighbor.
Me?
Yes, you, neighbor.
Oh? Is me she talking? Oh, you're saying to me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, neighbor. So I'm saying now, a lot of parents I know they cannot afford it. You understand? And these small taxis that we are using, these cheap-seater now, we cannot bear school children in them, else we're gonna lose revenue. You understand? So sometimes we would carry a certain amount of children, and then we carry adult with the rest of spaces. You understand? So a lot of times school children would be on the road, unable to get drive to go to and from school. You understand? So as a taxi operator and a owner of a taxi, I welcome this initiative. Wonderful initiative. I was listening to a post on TikTok just now with Mark Golding. He is calling the buses old buses and all kind of thing. And trust me, that's low of him. That's low of him. I can see it in the supporters' face that they are not happy with the remark that he have made, because a lot of his supporters are depending on these buses.
But of course, sir, and that is why I'm saying to you that I can't understand where this comment is. I'm personally very hurt by it. Very hurt.
So
sir. And you know why I'm so hurt by it?
Yes.
Many people don't know where Jamaica is coming from, you know, sir. Not even you. Can you say you were born in the 80s?
Yes.
Well,
early 80s.
I'm the 80s. I'm a big man, right? And the fact of the matter is that I never knew that Jamaica. You know, I've always felt that we were a nation lacking in possibilities of where we can really be.
Honestly?
And when I see, sir, that the government was attempting to do this, I said to myself, my God, what a blessing.
Yes, sir. I never know Jamaica would reach this far. I never know Jamaica would reach this far, but thank God I live to see. And
yes,
you have 200 and how many persons? 294 persons on your live, and I am urging these people, let's choose Jamaica. I have seen Jamaica at a place where it seems that if Jamaica is heading somewhere, right? I have never in my entire life seen crime dropping down. The gravity is pulling down crime, right?
Can you tell me something, sir? What the PNP means when they say blood and fire comrades? What do I mean by that?
Well, we're listening to Miranda Wellington, because the PNP, the supporters are very defensive when it comes to that statement. They are trying to give you the best meaning for that statement. But listening to Miranda Wellington, she speak it all. She tell you exactly what they meant by blood and fire. War. And we cannot go back into the 80s election, right? I wasn't born then. I think that was 2 years before me. I was born in 1982, and I think that was 1980, right? So I've never born then. We cannot afford to go back into those days. And I want the supporters of the People's National Party to be a man and woman, step up and condemn their leaders when he have been deceptive. You understand? Yes. Because I know that Andrew Holness led government have been doing so much for Jamaica, especially how they handle the pandemic. And to the leader of the opposition and his other MPs, Andrew Holness have never done nothing good since he become Prime Minister of Jamaica. And that's a lie. That's a lie. You understand? So I am urging Jamaicans, put politics aside and let's choose Jamaica for the best of our children. I am a father of 4 children. I have a daughter living in Canada, and she of my son are now with me. I went to a graduation today in Savlamar for one of my son and one last week. So the one I went today is going to high school, right? And the one last week is enrolling into primary school. So anything you see me do, they are whom I am doing it for. I love my children. I love Jamaica. I will die for Jamaica, right? I am not afraid of doing nothing for the benefit of this country and our nation children.
Well said, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Take care of yourself. You must come again.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I will.
Good. Tari, take us out now.
Yes, neighbor. People, what we have in front of us are two options. We can either choose the ringing bell, or we can choose the head. But let me tell you what comes with that, people. When you choose the head, you're choosing a set of people who don't even use their head. And I know that sounds very ironic. I know it does, because how can your symbol be the head, and the head has the, in the head there has the brain, and it has the ears and the eyes, and you're supposed to look and listen more than you speak. And I know it doesn't make sense, but if you choose the head, you choose a set of people who are not using their heads in the right way. They're not utilizing their heads in the right way. No, Jamaica girl, the head is not cut off. Their head is there. The head is there. But the vital organs within their head that they're supposed to be using, the eyes, the ears, the brain, it is cut off, and they have only prioritized one thing on the head, and that is their mouth. They have only prioritized their mouth. And you know, Scripture tells us there's life and there's a power of life and death in the tongue. But anywho, when you choose the head, you choose a set of people not utilizing their head in a correct way.
They're heading in the
but
wrong
you see,
direction.
when you choose the wrong direction, neighbor. But you see, when you choose the ringing bell, hold on there, because I don't think people understand. You see, when you choose the ringing bell,
What is this you're doing on the program, Tari? The young man having bell. Oh! Oh Jesus, this is you're so nice. Hold on the time.
Oh gosh, I can't believe me high. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
Go ahead. Oh boy, I tell you.
Gosh, I can't believe me high. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting. Oh gosh, I can't believe me high.
Go ahead, Tari.
Boy, I tell you something.
Neighbor, I don't think people understand what I say now. They say when it's nice, you have to do it twice, neighbor, right?
Yes.
You see, when you hear the ringing of the bell,
Oh gosh, I can't believe me high.
Go ahead, son. Roll call. No, sir. Oh boy, I tell you. This is a
in prosperity book of life. Make your mark, Jamaica roll.
Hello.
Roll call. everything here. Prosperity will come up. Roll call, Jamaican make it more. Jamaican make it more. Roll call.
Robert Dawson, King Painter, Train Man, roll call.
Make your mind.
Jamaica girl, Tari, you have the bell there?
Never.
Yes. Hold on there, hold on.
Labor trade, roll call. Up and running, roll call. Prosperity is coming. You better get on board. Roll call. Labor Party, roll call. Roll call. Make your